Hey Reflections. So today we're going to talk about the subconscious mind and a few dreams that I've been having and hypnagogic hallucinations that have been leading me to some new research about myself and my own mind, and it's really interesting. So I first started having these hypnagogic hallucinations about, I would say, 6, 7 months ago, and it was basically green and red, and that's what I would see, just flashing very intense colors of green and red. And at first it didn't really make sense to me. All I thought when I saw the green and the red lights were stop and go. Those are the things that I associate with green and red, so that's basically what I saw. And just the other day, actually, I've been having experiences where I will be semi-conscious or aware in my my dream state or lucid state, and it was a thought. It wasn't really visual, but it was a thought of things that I would have to go through. So someone was asking me questions, and the answers were green or red. And it would ask me questions like, it gave me just like, a question about morality or a situation or a social situation or anything really, and it would be, what's the answer? Is it green or red? And I would pick, and I would have to pick green or red. So this was a really interesting thing, seeing my unconscious mind or my subconscious mind at work, when I am in these lucid states, in my dream space. It's really interesting because you can see it like almost kind of like once you're aware during your lucid state, like a self-healing or something, or like a mind healing almost. You could use it as a tool for this, because what I realize is after it's like I'm being tested on situations on green and red, right? Then I have these ruminating thought currents, and it's kind of like you feel like these like currents of like thought or like electricity just going just like from up above, and it's almost just like this download of information while you're sleeping, while you're still unconscious, but your mind is aware. So I'm observing these things, and basically what it is, it's teaching me how to be more aware and more conscious and compassionate and empathetic for other people and their situation. So that's what I say, when you are put in these positions where you have to, really understand your mind, and nothing really is by accident. So I really try to learn from all interactions and social interactions, and it feels like after, just letting go of your identity, and the things that you think create you, that's a really scary thing to think that's outside of the box. And even when I am going into those states, it's kind of like taking off the mask and taking off another mask, and like you're asking yourself in that moment, who am I? Am I this? Am I that? Am I? You start to realize, no, this, and then you get into that space of being super aware, and that's what I feel psychedelics do for us. Just being very introspective and looking at yourself and being aware of you, the inside of you, of what makes you. So I feel that's why I really resonate with psychonauts and psychedelic people. It's because we know something, and we all feel very connected. We all feel very connected. Because it seems like there's just like this weird higher purpose of everything. But yeah, back to the dream I was having. So it was basically showing the green and the red, the duality within my mind, really, and I was basically looking into green and red. What does green and red symbolize? Green represents go, nature, medicine, health, vitality, youth, go green, that whole entire movement that's based on the subconscious, the unconscious, which is very interesting, and I realize this now, and I'm applying it to my everyday life, and just seeing the subliminal stuff within all of us. And I'm going to link a video that I didn't finish watching because I literally just found this, but I'm like 30 minutes into it, and it's very, very interesting. It's a Google talk on the subliminal mind and the unconscious mind. And I feel that once we become aware in those states, we could definitely learn a lot about ourselves. And it's really interesting. And the red basically symbolizes fire, tension, stop, authority, all of these things. It could also represent, what was it? I had an article where I was reading basically all of these things where it represents, and it's really interesting because we don't really realize that, and it's all linked to us and our brain and what we're so used to seeing, and the things that we pick up from our perspective, from our observation of everything around us. And even I can see even the way like this lens is built, it's just focused on me and everything else is blurred, which is basically what we take in from the light in our eyes, and how we perceive the world. It's very limited. And once we start really observing our unconscious mind, and how that creates our realities, and a lot of these realities is to learn, it's not even reality, it's just an illusion, but it's an illusion that we learn from, and we're just picking up so much information from all around us, really. So that's when your senses begin to get heightened and your awareness begins to get heightened. And when you're in certain challenging situations, for me at least, it's a lot easier to observe my judgment, because that is dualistic in nature, not understanding both sides, good and bad, red and green, stop and go. That's duality, and that's something within us. And it's also in a whole range, a whole spectrum of the color. I also see that the root chakra is red, and then the green chakra is the heart, and it's basically traveling to the heart space, to non-resistance, to love. And that's very, very interesting, observing that within this experience and seeing the spectrum, and it just traveling up. So it's been very interesting for me, and something I've been learning. So I've been learning to not really cast a lot of judgment to the people that trigger those emotions of hostility or anything like this. I observe that, and then I start seeing the other perspective, So, I mean, it makes life very interesting when you stop being offended, when you stop reacting. It's something that I had a very hard time doing, and now when I'm in these situations, it's kind of like a lucid state. I'm just learning from them, and so it's really interesting what our minds are really capable of. And it makes me want to study a whole bunch of other material and really go into the subconscious or the unconscious mind, because it really seems like we are definitely very, very active there. And you know, I've been taking some time to myself, really, because you know, all of this can get very, very overwhelming. And there are times where you just want to chill out, relax, you know, hang out with friends. So that's why I've been doing my meditations, but I've been having a lot of fun as well, which is really awesome and great. And, you know, I have a whole bunch of friends that are coming to visit me this week and, you know, next week, and they're all psychonauts. And, you know, that's why I say I love to connect with people like this, because there is some type of camaraderie, and it's definitely, you start seeing the synergy within all of us and having a very loving type of connection with everything and everyone around you. Even the ones that don't really want to love you back, you just still give unconditional love because you know they're hurting. But you're not taking it, but you're giving a lot of love. That's something that is really interesting for me, and I think that's what those dreams were showing me. It was trying to show me how to rise above the red state, really, how to go into the green state, into heart consciousness and love, really. So anyway, reflections, I think I'm going to end it at that. And that was my experience observing the unconscious mind and what goes on. And hopefully I'll have more experiences with this. But it seems to be like you get the message one time and then you're not really paying attention to the message. So the message comes again and again and again and again until you observe it. And then you talk about it and you process it and integrate it into yourself, and then you have a new lesson. Anyway, reflections, I hope you're having an awesome, awesome, awesome day. Hey, reflections, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and check out my other videos.